For the past 8 months, I've been using the Rode Wireless Pro as my primary source of audio. And in this video, I'm going to show you a key and valuable feature, how I use them as a solo filmmaker, and why I think these are the last wireless mics that I'll ever need. So I own the original Rode Wireless Go and the Rode Wireless Go 2, and both of those are great wireless microphones. The only reason I upgraded to the Rode Wireless Pro is for the 32-bit float internal recording. As a solo operator, this feature is so important. If you don't know what 32-bit float is, let me explain it to you. A 32-bit float audio file is almost impossible to clip or distort. No matter how loud or low someone is talking, you can almost always bring it back to a normal, usable level. Now, the way I approach recording audio with clients is to always record internally, just in case. You never know when a client is going to get a little excited and raise their voice. I mean, most of us do when we're talking about things that we're passionate about. And while we're on the subject of clients, a lot of the things that I film these days are talking head setups like these or interview setups. And when I find myself in those situations, these are the setups that I typically run with. This is the Rode NTG on-camera microphone plugged directly into the Rode Wireless Pro. And let's not forget that the Rode Wireless Pro is still recording internally 32-bit float, but it's also sending the signal directly into the camera. Now, a lot of the times I'm just using the audio directly from the camera, but sometimes when that audio is too loud or too low, I can take the files from the internal memory and plug that in, and it works seamlessly. So the last way that I like to use the Rode Wireless Pro is on a gimbal. And with that gimbal, I have it attached to the side with a NATO articulating arm. And normally what I would do is just have it pointing directly up at the talent. And of course the receiver will be on the camera, and I have one transmitter here. And with the other transmitter that it comes with, I have it attached to the client. So if they're doing any talking portion or anything like that, the receiver still transmits across the room. And if I'm close up, I'll decide which audio sounds better because I have the audio split. So I have the lav mic on channel 1 and then this boom mic on channel 2. So whichever one sounds best in post, that's the one I'll end up using. Okay, so to wrap this video up, we'll get into what actually comes within the box itself, and I'll talk to you about why I think this is the last wireless system that I think I'll ever need. The first reason is that I can't see anything that they could do better outside of maybe incorporating that thing where it records internally through the hot shoe with Sony cameras, but it's not necessarily a necessity for me, at least. Sony cameras are not the only cameras I plan on using, especially in the future. So that's not like a deal breaker for me at all. So let's see if we can get this open. I want to rip it, but we may have to. There we go. So comes like this. These are the two pouches that you get within the box. Let's go through this one first, which would be the receivers and the transmitters. This is a charging case, but you also need this case to transfer the internal recorded files if you're going to record internally to these devices, which I do recommend. You have the receiver here, and then immediately when you take it out of the case, it comes on, and then you have two transmitters here and here. There's an app that you can download. I can't remember the name of it right now, but you can program these to automatically start recording as soon as you take these out of the case, which is how I have mine set up. But if you don't want those set up that way to where they're always recording, you can just press this button here on the top. And once it turns red right here, that means these things are recording. So if this one is recording, this one is not. But if I press this button here, it starts recording. So that's a useful feature. I keep this on all the time because I don't want to have to worry about pressing the button. And I actually disabled the button because I want them always recording all the time. They have like 40 hours of internal storage. So I'm never hitting 40 hours, especially in a single session or a single job, whatever the case may be. That's not what I'm doing. If I'm doing that, then I'm doing something wrong. And then in this case, you have your accessories. So we have your lav mics here. You have 2 of them, of course, 1 for each transmitter. These really come in handy. And then you have a USB-C to iPhone cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable. We have magnets that attach with these. Let's get one of the transmitters out. So this snaps onto the back like that, and then you can take this magnet and you can snap it on. So I see a lot of people actually putting this on their shirt and then using the magnet to clamp it on. Sometimes they use it under their shirt, but I don't like using the magnet, to be honest. I would rather use one of the lav mics and then find a place to clip it on the client's shirt. This just gives cleaner audio, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Do what you want to do, as always on this channel. Outside of that, you just have a 3.5 to a 3.5 cable that goes directly into your camera from the receiver itself. And that's it. I don't use a lot of these things that are in here. What I would normally take with me, of course, you have the 3.5 to 3.5, this entire case. This is also a charging case, so it holds a charge. So if the batteries is running low with one of the receivers, you can just pop it right back in and it does charge itself. So you're gonna see me taking this with me, of course, this cable, and then the 2 lav mics. And I'll probably take the wing covers as well. Outside of that, I don't necessarily need the rest of it, but it's there if you need it. So if you found this video useful or helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate you for watching. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.